Hello, my name's Chris Stretch. I'm a psychotherapist, motivational speaker. I'm also a peak performance coach.
I was really excited about the possibility of giving a motivational talk to your sales force. Now, there's a lot of different reasons why, but I'll start with the fact that I did the job. I was in corporate sales for 9 years. The last 3 years, I was in corporate sales. I was in medical device sales. I was with Stryker for 2 years, and I was with a startup company called Advanced Biohealing, selling Dermagraft for a year.
And what I ended up doing towards the end of my career is choosing to change career paths, because the relationships I had with David, the relationships I had with other sales reps, made me feel as though I would be better served in this industry, helping out people that were struggling with these kinds of issues. I mean, we know sales is a very stressful environment. It's a very difficult place to perform in. So what I felt very connected to was, instead of selling to customers, was helping people sell.
And while I was in grad school, I also realized that I wanted to help young athletes because, my struggles or the difficulties that I had while I was in corporate sales really started when I got highly competitive in my late teenage years. So that's why right now I do a lot of peak performance coaching with adolescent athletes.
So why would I be a good fit for your sales meeting? Well, not only have I lived the experience, I know what it's like to have to deal with the stresses and the pressures of sales, but now I have this background in fundamental human behavior, psychology, and I've developed, with the help of my mentor, I have two of them, Dr. Alan Berger, who's a PhD in psychology, and Dr. Ken Revisa, who's a peak performance consultant who works with Chicago Cubs. He's their sports psychologist. I've got the education, and I have the passion.
I definitely want to have a solid foundation in sports performance and in peak performance on that level, but really I'm transitioning into this place where I want to help the corporate sales guy, the guy that's going out grinding every day, trying to sell, dealing with adversity, dealing with failure, dealing with rejection.
Deal with the things that happen in a world such as corporate sales that are so challenging and so difficult, but yet if we meet them in the right way and we learn, and I'll speak for myself, when I learn how to deal with them in the correct way, I end up gaining self-esteem, I end up connecting better to my team, to my organization, to my profession, and bringing all this stuff together, to me, I would hope to inspire, to really give people that feeling of resilience. That's my main message. We are all so resilient when we know how to harness that characteristic within us.
The other thing too is I want to inspire, and I want to inspire with tools. See, I want to really inspire your sales force. I want to really get them to feel as though they got what it takes to really be their best self, to get to that high level of performance within them. But you know what? I think a lot of motivational speakers, they fire people up, they get people excited, but there's not any practical tools being delivered. So an hour and a half later, 2 hours later, it wears off and there's really nothing much for them to take with them. I want to present tools. For instance, one tool that I will talk over and over and over about is making how I respond to something more important than what happens. Let me say that again. Making how I respond to what happens more important than what actually happens. What that means is that in any situation, if I focus on my response, I can find a way to be my best self under any and all conditions. See, that's a tool that I would really like to present to your sales force. Because I know when I was in sales, when I became very hooked to outcome, things didn't work out, things didn't go my way, I found it very, very difficult to recoup, to get back up, to dust myself off and get back up and going. And we know how this works. We know how the sales process works. We don't have time to slow down. We don't have time to pause. We got to keep going and keep going and keep going. So that kind of a tool, making my response to what happens more important than what actually happens, is a tool that I'd like to present to your sales force.
When we know how to harness that characteristic within us, that resilience, what happens is I can live from that place, and the things that happen that are so challenging, failure, rejection, bosses making decisions that I can't control, customers making decisions I can't control, those kinds of things, when I'm rooted in my resilience, in my ability to, as resilience says in the dictionary, withstand and recover quickly, I can deal with those things. So that's really why I would love the opportunity to come in and speak to your sales team, to not only motivate them, but give them tools and how they can deal with these challenging situations. I'll give personal examples because I've been in the field, and I'll also give some practical, fundamental psychology behind the reason why it can be so challenging, and the reason why we can make these challenges
and turn them into personal growth opportunities, professional growth opportunities, which together collectively can help a company grow. And not only grow in individuality, but grow connected in togetherness towards each other. So I love the opportunity. I feel very passionate about this, given I was there, I was struggling, I was having a tough time, and I would love nothing more than to help your sales force succeed and be their best selves and get to their optimum level of performance. So once again, Chris Stretch, really appreciate it. I really hope you'll check me out and see if I'm a good fit, because I think I am. And you can check me out at chrisstretch.com. It's my website, and you can also see some of the work that I do at my Instagram page, which is authenticity_in_performance.